Hi everyone, I'm Don Reinert, saxophonist with the Naples Philharmonic. Today I'd like to give you some pointers and tips on how to make your sound better and basically just how to get set up before you get ready to practice. So the first thing we need to do is soak our reed. Now, what I mean by that is not putting it in your mouth for 5 seconds and then go, yeah, okay, it's soaked. I'm talking you need to soak the reed for a good 2 to 3 minutes. So I got these at the dollar store. You can get them 2 for $1. I usually give them to all my new students as Christmas presents. I know. So put some water in this. Just throw the whole reed in. Let it soak for a little bit. That way the reed is good and wet. The reed can't do its job if it's not soaked, right? Because if it's too dry, it can't vibrate. So you want to make sure it's nice and wet. So then you can go ahead and put it on your mouthpiece. Now you want to make sure that you put it on evenly on both sides. And a good rule of thumb is to put it on so that when you're looking at it at this angle, you see just a tiny sliver of black right above the reed. If you push the reed up too far, you're trying to get too much of the reed to vibrate, so the reed's going to feel really hard and stiff, right? If you put the reed too far down, not enough of the reed can vibrate, and so you're not going to be able to get any sound out. So just so you can see that, you can see just a tiny sliver of black right above, and that's a good place to start as far as reed position. So then go ahead, put the saxophone back together. Now, I like to sit toward the edge of the chair. That way I feel I can breathe a little bit better. As we play saxophone, you want to make sure that most of the weight is around your neck. I know it's kind of uncomfortable, but that's the best position to be in. That way, we don't have any tension. If you're trying to hold the saxophone with your thumbs or your fingers, there's too much tension in your hand and you can't move the fingers with enough dexterity to play technically, right? So all of the weight sadly needs to be around your neck. That being said, you want to adjust your neck strap so that it basically can come straight into your mouth without even holding onto it. Like this. So you shouldn't have to move down to get to the mouthpiece, and you definitely don't want to go back like this. You want to make sure that you're sitting in such a position that you're kind of looking at an angle down. If we tilt our head back too far, this closes off, and we want to make sure that the throat can be nice and open and relaxed. So, as with all wind instruments, our sound comes from here. So, from the diaphragm, right? Then you want to think that your throat is kind of relaxed and open. You want to drop your jaw back here, keep this whole cavity open, and then we just seal our lips around the mouthpiece enough so that it can't move around and there's not air leaking out, right? So we take a good deep breath, try to say a do tongue. If I try to move my neck back or I try to close off, this is what happens. So you want this as open and relaxed as you can. I'm sure some of the other musicians have talked about long tones. Any wind instrument, we should all be doing long tones. That works on 3 things. It works on air control, it works on embouchure control, and it works on your sound. When we get into playing technical stuff, we kind of forget about our sound. So if we work on our sound by itself, then hopefully that will transfer into when we start playing technically, right? So with my saxophone students, I make them just play 2 notes. And you want to hold the second note for as long as you can. Work on getting a nice, clean taper off, right? So, again, take a deep breath. need to develop that control throughout the whole range of the instrument. So you want to work your way down chromatically, go all the way down to low B flat, which on saxophone is our lowest note, then go back up and go all the way to high F, F sharp if you have an F sharp key, because we have to be able to control in every register and on every note. Now, once you do that warm up, you're ready to play. You're ready to practice. Have a great day. Thanks for listening. I hope you learned something. Happy practicing.